Anyhow, this is a good Saturday morning. What can I say? It's been a busy week so far this week for my vlogging and all that. I'm sorry I haven't spent that much time actually doing some. I actually had an interview this past Tuesday with a company called ACN. They are basically a telecommunication company dealing with high-speed internet with through Bell and through Videotron itself. So I actually had an interview with them this past Tuesday in regards to a technical support position. So I actually went in this past Tuesday, and they weren't too far away from one of the places that I usually go through to go into Montreal. I ended up taking the actual metro going in that morning because for the fact is that when I was reading up on the actual pages from the AMT that it actually had switched a little bit as for the arrival of the trains going into Montreal, which was actually somehow falsified on their website. So it ended up that if I would have taken the train in going from St. Therese to Montreal, I would have gotten there just in time, just as normally as I would. Whereas instead of me heading into Montmorency, the subway station, and taking it from there, it would have been the same effect. At any rate, so I ended up getting there a couple of hours early. I arrived at the place around 7:30, 7:45. The actual interview was actually for 9 o'clock. So I ended up getting there around 8:45 with about 15 minutes to spare for the interview itself. It went kind of well for the interview itself. It was mainly in French. But the thing is with that there, for sure I didn't get the job because I'm probably more likely overqualified for the position itself. That there, which I thought was a good position, possibly for me. It wasn't actually, because I didn't get any callbacks in regards to it. So what it ended up is I applied for another job through a company that I went for Manulife, and I'm going to be hearing from them soon in regards to that. So I'm hoping to hear from them soon within the next couple of days, and hopefully it'll be a great place for at least a couple of months. It's a contractual job for technical support, and hopefully from there we'll go. Right now I'm actually waiting at our spot for our lunch, which is basically over by Timmy's here, which I'm waiting for Cyprian to actually come and meet me up here. And then we're heading off over to Patak 2000 to actually have our lunch. So that'll be a great thing. Also at the same time, I had passed by one of my local suppliers. I had to pick up an extra hard drive. For the simple fact is the one that I'm using was filling up very quickly for my vlogs and all that. So instead of trying to, save the stuff onto external hard drives, I've decided to go the way of expanding it. So what I'm looking at to do within the next week or so is to actually back up my data that I need, take the old hard drive out, put the new one in, format it, reinstall everything from scratch, and then restore software on it that I need, including my data that I need on there. Because for the simple fact, 500 gigabyte hard drives are not big as they used to be, and considering doing vlogging, there's quite a bit of data just to do that alone. So I'm hoping to find out within the next couple of days when doing that there to see how much data I'll be able to actually install on it and restore. So while we're waiting for Cyprian, I'm going to put this on pause and wait for him to come, okay? So I'll be back, folks. Bear with me. Anyhow, so I got back to my place where I was hoping to meet up with Cyprian, and he hasn't arrived yet, and there's still a couple of minutes I'm going to give him to arrive here on time. It's always going to be like this with Cyprian and I. We always give a couple of minutes leeway whenever we're meeting up for lunch. Just for the simple fact is that taking the normal, how can I say, the normal, not trains, but the usual buses system will be slightly late as always. And I know for sure that he's going to arrive eventually. It's just a matter of timing. And I know he likes taking the bus system like I like taking the train system when going into Montreal. Both Chippy and I, when we worked together at Focus and a couple other places, taking the train into Montreal was always the best thing, because we've always met up in the train system itself. And since I usually get on at St. Therese, he usually got on in St. Rose, so the meetup was always very close. So we both knew which train or which car to meet up at, and we would meet up from there, and he would meet me within the train system itself. So for the fact that when we meet there, we've always talked going in and going back home. So we've always met up going in to work and also going back home, which was also a fun thing there too, because we got a chance to talk going in and going back home. So that's a fun thing about going into work via the train system. And the bus system, not so much, for the simple fact is because I live at a different city than he does, and taking the bus is not as fun as it is taking the train. And taking the train is also fun because it gives you a chance to read going into work and also going home, and also listen to any music if you like listening to music on your own, especially when you don't have friends to talk with. And I usually like bringing movies with me into the metro system as well as the train, because it gives you a chance to catch up on some, light listening in of music or videos. And there's one I'm going to have to eventually show up on my vlog site to let you guys see, because there's one that's new and it's very fun to read, or very fun to look at, because that's the most enjoyable I find. Anyhow, it should be coming close that Chippin should be here, so I'm going to just log off for the time being. As soon as he comes in, I'll definitely catch him for you, so bear with me, I'll be right back. Anyhow, and it looks like Chippy, is that Chippy himself? It looks like it, coming from a distance over there, and it looks like it's him, and it is him indeed. And he's coming over, and he's just going to make it over that little hump over there. There he is, and he's made it over, and there he is in his white outfit, waving at me. Oh my God, he's made it over, and he's coming in, and there he's coming. Hey, Chippy, how's it going? How you doing?
Good.
It looks like you're frozen solid.
No,
no,
not today.
Not today?
Yesterday I was.
Yesterday you were. Now it's time to go for lunch. Let's go to Patat 2000. See you there soon, folks. Good, nice and cold outside, and here's our lunch. Chippin's having his usual club sandwich with fries and a poutine. Yep. My God, you're eating so much.
It's good.
And he's a toothpick all the time. Meanwhile, I have my poutine, once in a blue moon, souvlaki, pogo, and some onion rings. Good stuff. That's how I love to have some fun and eat. Anyhow, so that's the day for my Saturday. We finally finished lunch at Patat 2000 and headed off down to Tim Hortons to have our coffee and a donut down there. They're also running a special little thing there at Timmy's where you can win some coffee and all that. Of course, Chippin won another cup of coffee for free. I didn't win anything. I just had my donut and my coffee, and everything ran okay. So we're basically finished up over there. I drove from home, and I'm on my way home over here. And I'm on my way with the new hard drive that I have, and I'm going to be eventually putting that into one of my computers, so I can at least get it updated with the latest operating system and transfer my data over to one hard drive to the other. Since I'm running out of space out of the 500 gig hard drive, I need the extra space, and the 2 gigs is more than enough. Anyhow, for this night, or for this day for vlogging, I'm going to cut it short and early. Wishing everybody having a great Saturday, great vlog as well. If you really like what I have here, please put in your comments, rate it, and also subscribe. And I'll be back next week with something else new. Till then, folks, have yourself a great weekend and a fantastic week. I'll catch you guys later. And I'll let you know as it goes on with the job interviews as well. I'm still waiting to hear up one other one directly from SI Systems, which is going to be another job interview somewhere else. So till then, folks, have yourself a great week. Take care.